Hello chat. Rainworld's an interesting one because it has I guess you'd call it a cult following. The people in that cult following think it's the best game ever made. But the people who aren't in that cult following hate it and think it sucks, which I think makes the reviews really interesting. They're all some variation of this. If you like wandering around aimlessly and getting lost in an immersive world with a really impressive simulated ecosystem, you'll love this game. But if you like completing goals with positive feedback and feeling accomplished, or if you like having any understanding of what's going on or what you're supposed to do, you'll find playing this game as pointless as I did. That's like every negative review of Rainworld. Rainworld is a very specific type of game. It doesn't explain the video game to you. It just shows you stuff. I think that's cool. But some people don't want this. Some people just want Ubisoft quest markers all over their screen telling them what to do. They're all so long. All of the Rainworld's the type of game where every negative review is like this. It's like, oh my god. You know, reading Steam reviews really stresses me out sometimes. I just wish I had a game that I could just go play to get rid of the stress of the Steam reviews are so stressful. This video is sponsored by Stunt Bike Extreme, an easy to learn but hard to master arcade motorbike game that's similar in style to the Xbox 360 arcade games of old, where sometimes your gameplay looks like this. And sometimes it looks like this. Ow, ow, ow. Not good. Oh my god. Ow, ow. If you want to speedrun, or if you want to hit crazy clips, this game will be right up your alley. With a bunch of environments to race through, from warehouses to desert fields to, oh my god, I'm being chased by, there's a train. I'm being chased by a train. There's a train. And a bunch of in-game cosmetics and bikes to unlock and upgrade. I thought to myself, oh, I'll just get 10 minutes of footage for this ad real quick. And then I sat and I played it for 2.5 hours. I think I might be addicted. So if you too want to get addicted to a cool motorbike game, then go buy it today. There's a link in the description and the pinned comment. Thanks again to Stunt Bike Extreme for sponsoring this video. I like farm arrays. Do people not like farm arrays? Fuck farm arrays, all my homies hate farm. Why? Well, you know what? I really like farm arrays, but reindeer are the worst creature in the game. Well, actually, the Watcher made the barnacles. Okay, if we pretend the Watcher doesn't exist, then reindeer are the worst enemy in the game, or worst creature in the game. Easily. It's true. Do you want to see something funny, chat? This is an entire minute-long clip of me waiting for the reindeer to move. Thankfully, the controllable deer mod exists. If you need a mod to make the enemy not dog shit, then the enemy's dog shit. Look at him. Look at him go. What is he doing? Stand up. You fucking idiot. Stand up. Why are you doing that? I have never had a bad reindeer experience in all of my 600 hours of Rainworld gameplay. How? Reindeers are conscious and they hate slug cats. No, reindeers are conscious and they hate humans. They hate human being players. They hate me, personally. This game is not for stupid people. You know what? Maybe this just sums up every negative review about Rainworld. This guy's 1,000 hours? How do you play Rainworld for 600 hours and then leave a negative review that's actually unironically? That's crazy. I would like to preface this by saying that Rainworld is my favorite game of all time. Not recommend. 1,100 hours on record. Life is not fair, life sucks, and then you die. Backer1769. Oh, this guy Kickstarter backed it. He Kickstarter backed Rainworld, played it for 1 hour, and then hated it. The jump was just a tiny hop, hardly functional enough to get me off the ground. I thought that my jump height would increase as I leveled up. I assume he's talking about Karma. He evolved a second time. This is Karma. So I evolve again, and then again. Level 4 now. Still, I'm only able to bunny hop. And I have no new abilities, no change in appearance. I was a bit confused. Am I going to grow in any way? No, you're not. Otherwise, what's the point? The point is that you find Karma gates that allow you to go to another region. I feel like this is a classic case of playing the game for less than an hour in 2017 and then writing all of this. All of your misunderstanding of the game gets splurged out, but you don't know what you're talking about. In fact, you know what? We don't need to read any of this. All we needed to read was this. And then look at the number of words written. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. Should have just waited for level 6 double jump. Yeah. I think if you try and write a negative review with less than 3 hours on your playtime, Valve should be allowed to come to your house and blow your brains out. I think Gabe Newell should personally show up to your doorstep and fucking wring your neck. Dropwig, sad face. I like dropwigs. Is that a controversial opinion? I like Dropwigs. I think they're awesome. Aesthetically pleasing game with a good soundtrack, but lacks a strong sense of direction. I found it hard to know what was happening, what the goal was, how things interacted or worked, and all around how to play. 1.1 hours on record. Big monster eated me. I hate when a big monster eat me. If you read Dune solely for the desert ecology, then this game is for you. If you just really liked the part about the worms. This game makes me want to kill myself. 10 out of 10. Unable to get into this game, the controls are just so garbage, even with modified key bindings. Why design it like this? Torture? Yeah, mate. Nail on the head. Torture. Also, you played for... Ah! Ah! Ooh, why do you play for 0.2 hours and then say this? The controls aren't garbage, you've just not played the game before. Like, what do you want? It's a game you've never played. Oh. Scavenger hit a 360 diagonal on me without a scope on me and my son. Wait, what? I have to read that one again. Scavenger hit a 360 diagonal on me without a scope on me and my son. Whoa. That's actually Artificer lore. How is this well rated? The game controls are super clunky. The whole game concept doesn't really make any sense. Just fucking blow your brains out, mate. Jesus Christ. I didn't like the controls, also it was boring. How do you... Sorry, I just had a stroke from reading this. Okay, you know what's something I will say that I fucking strongly hate about Rainworld? I think Rainworld's fans sometimes don't seem to understand what game they like. You know, do you remember the fan cams they did to fucking advertise Downpour? I just think that might be the worst thing anyone's ever made in their life ever. It was satire, okay, but you realize that satire like that only works on people who already like the game. And to people who don't like the game or don't know what the game is, that doesn't come across as satire. To people who weren't already Rainworld fans, it probably turned them off. Rainworld is quite a gritty game, and the game's about an ecosystem where the slug cat gets like brutally eaten by lizards and shit. I just think the devs marketing their game like this. Do you know what's the other example? Let me find it real quick. There's a This one was terrible as well. This one's fucking so bad. Do you see how if the community of the game wants to make jokes about how Five Pebbles is a femboy, that's fine if they want to do that. I don't have any problem with that. But like when the developers market the game with this same style, I think it's bad. Get it off my screen, please. No, I actually think I'll make it bigger. One sec. I think I'll make it even bigger, actually. This was marketing. This was a tweet from the official Video Cult Twitter. Guys, I found it. Video Cult Media official Twitter account posted this. So everyone who was just disagreeing with me about the fan cam, saying that I just hated fun, can you agree with me now, please? Please agree with me, please. Like, I'm begging. I'm on my hands. Please just agree. The official Video Cult Media marketing for Rainworld shouldn't look like this. Rainworld is a really serious game. It's about an ecosystem. It's about an ancient civilization. It's not about whatever the fuck this is. And this. Look! This is real. Look, I'm gonna punish you by showing this on screen. This is real from the Video Cult Twitter account. Why? Why are they doing this? It's so bad. Do this stuff in your Discord server. Don't do this publicly where you're trying to market Rainworld. Most of their Twitter is serious. To be fair, they seem to have learned their lesson from posting fan cams and Cowboy Pebbles. Leave the fan cams as the butterfly effect of the Watcher being shit on release. You know that Domino's meme of like the small domino to the big domino? This is how my parents got to school. True. They had to swim through the void worm and everything. Refunded. Yes, this is a positive review. This game is a work of art. There's absolutely breathtaking visuals to be found here, and it provides some of the best environmental design and storytelling I've ever seen. I refunded it because it quickly became clear that this is an extremely hardcore experience on a genre that I frankly don't super enjoy. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I can't recognize how good of a game it is, and it doesn't really have much in terms of faults beyond personal taste or preference on my end. This is, put simply, a great game that I don't like playing. If you like difficult and punishing platformers, however, this game is a must. It's crazy how good it is. This might be my favorite person in the world. This is the best guy ever made. Imagine being able to like have the sentience to say this out loud. Take my points. Take my points, yeah, trust. H2 flexing is 155,000 Steam points. Who uses Steam points? I've had a Steam account for 20 years. My Steam account's 20 years old. This one's not a review about Rainworld. This is just like a confession. One of the main issues with the new Slugcats is the majority of the map is left untouched in each campaign. You're given a strong movement or combat ability in each of the new campaigns, and because the old rooms and enemies are not designed with these abilities in mind, lots of them are either completely trivialized or too cramped for you to actually use the abilities. You know what? I don't entirely agree with this, but what I will say is that I think that all of the Slugcats in Downpour having superpowers is kind of lame. I think the base game being like very naturalistic is way more interesting. The fact that you are a little creature in the world, you have just as much agency as a lizard. But in Downpour, that's not true. In Downpour, you are like a god. At the bare minimum, you're Gourmand, who's like fat and can crush other creatures with the weight of his body. And he can craft nuclear weapons to throw that like eviscerate anything. And the most powerful is, of course, a guy who can fly and ascend people with his mind. And I think that's not as cool as the base game. I think it's not as interesting. I think it's just, it detracts from the ecosystem part of Rainworld, and the ecosystem part of Rainworld is the best part. The DLC Slugcats feel like Sonic OCs. That is the best description of that I've ever heard. I feel like you're being a little negative bias against things. Hope you don't feel like it. Okay, here, I'm going to explain myself really quick, okay? Rainworld, the survivor, the monk, and the hunter. 10 out of 10. Perfect video game. I fucking love it. It is a banger. Truly a masterpiece. Downpour, 8 out of 10. Fun. Good game, but the Slugcats have superpowers and I don't like that very much, but it's fun and I liked it, and it had cool lore moments that I enjoyed. But also something I don't like is that the Downpour campaigns make the game about you. Instead of being like a Slugcat that like finds a god in the ocean, you're like not really a part of the story. The story is about the ancients and about the iterators and about the religion. That's one of my favorite elements of the base game, and that's lost in Downpour because suddenly Rivulet like revives Big Sister Moon and Saint can ascend people with his brain. So that's why, as much as I do like Downpour, sometimes I'll say negative things about it because I don't like it as much as I like the base game of Rainworld. Now, The Watcher, 4 out of 10. It has echoes and it has vague dialogue and it has trippy shit going on, but it feels like none of it has any substance. It feels like there's nothing to grab onto. There's no concrete facts in The Watcher that make the story feel meaningful. It all feels fucking made up. It feels like instead of arguing about lore theories about what may or may not have happened in the story, instead you're arguing about whether what happened on your screen is even real or not. And I think that's lame. I think that sucks. I also think that the regions not being physically connected to each other feels lazy and makes it feel disjointed. I also think the ecosystem in The Watcher suffered greatly because there's a bunch of new creatures, but none of them interact with each other. Like lizards will just walk into the barnacles over and over again because they don't even notice that the barnacles are there. There's no interaction between the ecosystem and anyway. There's very little of that going on. There's just like a big lizard that shoots a fucking laser beam. What does it hunt? Don't know. What hunts it? Don't know. It just shoots a fucking laser beam. I just think The Watcher misses the mark in every way. Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of people in chat say something along the lines of, well, The Watcher isn't finished. And that's true. But also, don't fucking release it unfinished then. Don't release the game before it should be released, and then the game would have been good maybe when you released it. Watcher? I hardly know her. Hello, Htwo. Chat, can we ban that guy? Oh my god, I hate the Blizzard Lizards. I'm going to talk about it again. The Blizzard Lizards are so dumb. They make no sense biologically. They make no sense mechanically. They don't hunt anything. Nothing hunts them. They're just there. They're just a guy in the world that shoots a laser beam. Title not clickbait. It does in fact rain. It's true. Unlike Risk of Rain, where it doesn't rain, Markiplier should have made a part 2. Imagine Rainworld could have been as popular as like Five Nights at Freddy's, and it would have been like huge, and there would be a fucking Rainworld movie. 1 lizard, 2 lizard, red lizard, blue lizard, black lizard, blue lizard, old lizard, new lizard. This one has a little scar. This one jumps very far. Say, what a lot of lizards there are. Yes, some are red and some are blue. Some are old, and some are new. Some are sad, and some are mad, and some are very, very bad. Why are they sad, mad, and bad for you? I do not know. Go ask Big Sister Moon. Some are thin, some are fat. That fat one has a yellow hat. From there to here, from here to there, looming death is everywhere. It's big. This is MF Doom.